Brittney Griner has been released from the Russian detention. This has just broke this morning, and I know when you seen it, you probably were jumping for joy. Bubba said
Yeah.
happy birthday to him. God has blessed him with the gift. And so the U.S. President Joe Biden announced the release of Brittney Griner today, saying the WNBA star is on her way home now after months in Russian detention. He said Griner is in good spirits. She was released as a part of a swap for convicted Russian arms dealer Victor Bout, according to a source familiar with the matter. We know that Griner has been detained since February when she was arrested on drug smuggling charges at an airport in the Moscow region. And despite her testimony that she had inadvertently packed the cannabis oil that was found in her luggage, she was sentenced to 9 years in prison in early August. Thursday's swap did not include another American that the Senate Department has declared wrongfully detained, whose name is Paul Whelan. But we are glad right now, as we work towards Paul Whelan, we are glad that we have Brittney Griner, who we've been working with or been working for since August, right? Let's that DJ, where you at with the hand clap? Right there, right there. So Brittney Griner is now definitely released. We can confirm that. She's on her way home, which is to America. It seems like
There's
also
a lot of Republicans this morning that don't
pissed.
really know what to do because they were making fun of her being arrested, saying like, "Oh, I bet you think America's great now," that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Um, and so there's a whole faction of people in this country, politically speaking, who are pissed off
Yeah.
that black woman is free. Now, I'll
Hmm.
tell you why I'm pissed off, because I don't have any reason to like, while I do oppose Vladimir Putin in Ukraine, him holding Brittany Griner was a problem for me, you know. And so he's let her go. So I got to let go of the beef now. But I've been stewing on that for a minute, Vladimir Putin. Y'all had her there too long over some trumped up charges. I don't get and hearing you read it, Rebecca, when you said drug trafficking.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're just, you're reading the report, but the way they categorize it, drug
Hmm.
trafficking.
Hmm.
No, she had a vape pen. So the trumped up charges, and so anyway, I'm just,
Yeah.
except for the fact that you should never held her in the first place.
So when I heard the news, I remembered me being on the Hill, and they didn't want to discuss it. And a lot of the talking points that almost made it believable for the different platforms were that her family said not to discuss it.
I'm sorry.
People ran with that story. When I sat there and I said, "Why are we talking about Biden's son's laptop, and we should be talking about Brittney Griner?" They ate me alive. They're like, "Well, oh my God. Her family said don't talk about it." Did her family talk to you? Because I don't know where.
Mm,
Where did you get your information from? Because that was that same conversation, that talking point was on Tucker Carlson and all that. So they brought
mm,
that. They really believed
mm.
that that was a story. And I said, "Dang!" When Lisa Leslie came out, and even Grinder's wife was like, "Nobody has reached out to us. I'm taking my story publicly here because I feel like I don't have an opportunity to speak to my wife. I don't know what's going on." So I'm like, okay, so if we take this out of the media, nobody's going to really put pressure on trying to get her out. So having that talking point was very dangerous, that her family
Mhm,
did not want us to speak about it.
mm,
It was confusing.
mhm.
So that being let
I've
on,
seen that happen so many times,
yeah.
right? A wrong piece of information gets repeated as fact.
Hmm.
Because I actually, a couple times I said that myself. I'm not even going to front, right?
Girl,
I say
I was
I'm thinking to my kid.
good. When they sat there, I was like, "Are you serious right now?" The family said no, but the family also was believing those things as well. But people said we didn't know where to go with it. We
Oh,
were see, you see how it goes.
yeah,
It's like playing
yeah.
telephone.
Look,
People that don't have no
exactly.
information, they're seeing it on mainstream media. Who knows what to believe? It was crazy, and all of a sudden, Lisa Leslie was told, she was like, "We had to come out as a team to speak on her behalf
Mm.
for the WNBA."
I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen on the local level. A little bit of that happened in some of the cities that I've been organizing in, where all of a sudden there's a talking point,
Yeah.
and everybody believes it. Like, the talking point for a lot of them is, don't talk to the media, don't talk to the media. Now, I get that for a family, the immediate family who has cases, they had to make sure that Brittany Griner got home.
Yeah.
So there's a good possibility that, see, we could have inflamed the situation.
If
And
we
I
talked
think,
about it.
oh, no, 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 no. If black folks really, really wanted to turn up on behalf of Brittany Griner, we would have turned the hell up. But we got that talking point that the family doesn't want us to talk about it. And a lot of us ran with it. But we covered it, we covered it because we were like, whatever, we're going to cover it, and we're going to talk about it exactly the way we need to talk about it. And so, you know, she's coming home. I think that's the focal point.
Yeah. Two things. Melanie Dennis said she's over at Pascal's show right now, watching him
What's
cover
up,
this as
Pascal?
well. Well, shout out to Pascal. Well, if you hear, you hear. You guys can catch him on the after record. Love you, Pascal. Mean it. But she said that the people in his comment section, who are saying that she should come back, she should serve time. And
Yeah.
when she gets to the US. And I thought about that too. I'm like, I know when she gets here, they're going to say she needs to serve time.
For what?
Uh, but we don't know what's included into this trade, right? And I'll just say that. And secondly, she doesn't need to serve time for anything that if somebody here was caught with the same thing, wouldn't serve any time for, right?
Right.
Uh,
Right.
so
I told you those white folks are gonna be mad.
are you right? See, immediately, yes.
And
Immediately, yes.
those black bros and those black dudes who go along with white boys.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah.
a whole group of black men who fresh and fit generation, that crowd,
Mm-hmm.
right? Who hate black women just as much as white men hate black women.
Yeah.
So that entire crew is mad today, and they must be over on that other show, in the other comment section, because I don't see it over here.
No, look, it ain't in ours. Shout out to
Yeah.
Pascal though. Love you, mean it. Like
Yeah.
when it gets crazy, when you're the life of the party, it brings in haters a lot. But I will say with this situation also, I'm thinking about how they traded her for a real, oh, like this
Oh
guy.
yes.
He's
Like
a
a real,
criminal.
oh yes, Rebecca.
I can't really, and I think criminal's a low level word for him. Like
He's a monster. A black woman with a vape pen is equivalent to a white murderous warlord.
Let me go really read up on this. Like, it's so sad that they
He's
said,
an
okay,
arms dealer.
yes, let's trade this like arms dealer for a person with a vape pen. They had her in the middle.
That's how much they hate black women's.
Right. This girl got locked up and woke up in the middle of a war. Literally, man.
Like, sorry, all right, Brittany. Now you're on your way home. We can laugh about this now.
You on your way home.
We can laugh about this now.
She got locked up thinking that she was going. I bet you she thought she was going to get out. Like, it's a vape pen.
Yeah.
She woke up and it was a war.
And
People
man
are
started
fleeing
a
the
war.
country.
Yeah.
And they're like, they dragging her like, you ain't going nowhere. That's crazy.
Rebecca, wait. Remember
this man is a murderous arms dealer. We have him in our custody because we got reasons to. People, there's blood on his hands.
Like, this dude is going to go out and kill like 10 million people in whatever country they decide to sell arms to. So, and she had a vape pen.
She brought that country awards. She represented that country as a basketball player as well. She played for Russia. So,
do they see how twisted it is? But in the other comments, I mean, and listen, I'm saying comment section because I'm not going at my dude Pascal, because that's my boy. I texted him at least a week or so ago. But I just know that there are so many people who are mad this morning, and they want her to go to jail here in the United States. Man, shut your monkey. What Dr. Max say?
Yo, monkey ass. But the way he says it, we can't really.
Monkey ass.
And he doesn't play. He don't play with it. Like the most the most embarrassing
Ever.
country ever. This is embarrassing. A black woman.
Man.
We started seeing so much when she went to jail. What did we see? Racism,
Oh goodness.
bigotry.
Misogyny.
We definitely saw misogyny.
Oh my God.
We saw
Homophobia.
major homophobia. Every hate trait was
Everything they
exposed.
could get it all
I
three in
tried
one, man. It was a trifecta.
I tried to squeeze Brittany in a conversation when they wanted to talk about what is Hunter Biden's laptop, and they wanted to say there's major news developments on Hunter Biden's laptop, and I was like, well, what is it? They were like, well, it's still developing. I said, well, y'all been developing this story for about a year now. 2 years, is it? I don't. What's on the laptop?
They're clowns over there. But
What's on the
anyway,
laptop? Because Brittney Griner, a black woman, has been detained for a vape pen in Russia. A black U.S. citizen, a black U.S. athlete has been detained for hash oil in Russia. They're like, no, we can't talk about that. Is she serious right now? Is she serious? They were doing that to me. And that was when I seen, oh my God, they are going to use talking points that are on major
Rebecca, no, this
mainstream
actually
media.
factually, I hear you saying it, but
No, this happened to me.
it's not registering because you would think that they would have enough smarts to not show how openly bigoted they are in their editorial decisions at the Hill.
This happened to me, and love the Hill, mean it. I really do. But when the conversations are surrounded and you have a black woman on here wanting to discuss, a black journalist on here wanting to discuss the plight of another black woman, but if you can't see her because she's a black woman, okay, let's discuss her as a U.S. citizen in the middle of our ally country, or I can say our ally country, but in the middle of Russia, right? And you guys are supposed to be these conservatives. I don't know where they are with it. You don't never know where they are on the fence with this whole conversation as it relates to Russia.
You can no, actually you do. You actually do. Just figure out who they can hate, and that's where they're going to hate. Period. If there's an opportunity for them to hate, and in Brittney Griner, they had 3 things that they could hate. 1, a black person, a woman, and then a lesbian woman.
Yeah.
They had 3 things in one. That's the trifecta of hate for them. So of course they're going to be in the comment section. They wanted her to rot away they wanted to be able to mock all of blackness using her pain by saying, "Ha, I bet you think America's great now."
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what we've seen throughout. That's what we've seen is those conservatives come out with these talking points. They wanted to, like you said, that was one of the ones that they utilized. Oh, I bet you think America's great now. We got, now she needs America and she needs to serve some time. A lot of the conservatives are actually didn't do much to help the situation of getting her out, to want to get her out. They said that there were other issues and other people that deserve the attention, and not somebody who broke the law. Broke the law in Russia. And so here it is. I'm glad that we're here. We can celebrate, we can party. I pray that when she comes, the black folks throw a little something on the grill for her.
That's
okay,
right.
throw a little something.
And put some
on
respect on her name.
Yeah,
Put some respect on that black woman's name.
Period.